Good morning, this is Pastor Marty from the Afternoon Drive, and it's going to be a quick video. Just a couple things I need to share. Just got to get them off my chest, get it out there, and then I'm going to get on with my weekend, and I recommend that you do the same. If you watch my video, subscribe and share it and help it to go viral. There's a couple of things that just really annoy me about the mainstream slime media. Mika Brzezinski. I honestly cannot for the life of me figure out, other than the fact she has a boy toy named Joe Scarborough who's got his own morning talk show, you know, Scarborough in the Morning or Mornings with Joe or whatever it's called. You know, he sits there in those dorky looking Mr. Magoo glasses of his and, you know, trying to sound like, you know, he is this incredibly educated, reasoned, cautious, on some things conservative, with the heart of gold, which basically means he's a rhino and a liberal. That's all that means, because he gets invited to all the right cocktail parties, and he's at the Oscars, and, you know, because ex-Congress people who become reality TV news people, yeah, because he likes to jab Trump for being a reality TV star. Well, I got news for you, Scarborough. You're nothing but a reality news guy. You're not real news. What's the word for that? Fake news. But your little sidekick, Mika. Now, here's the thing. We've gotten a reprieve, or I thought we were going to get a reprieve from just blatant stupidity when Megyn Kelly went away. Megyn Kelly I've often referred to as Fox News Barbie, a pole dancer who somehow got herself onto TV to be eye candy for the old guys in between, you know, getting their meds and their Viagra at the nursing home. She was simply there to draw in male viewers. And then, of course, one day she kind of thought, hey, I'm smart and I can do journalism. No, you're neither. The truth is, what you were was snarky, you were nasty, and you were just coming across as, to a lot of men, their ex-wives, who now happens to have a TV camera in front of her face and an hour to every day just say whatever pops into her head against whatever male it is that day that she doesn't particularly care for. That wasn't a winning strategy, Fox. I know her ratings were up, but that was only because she was on the attack of Trump, and people were watching to see what would she say, and then immediately grabbing their phones to see what would President Trump tweet. Of course, at that time it was candidate Trump. What would he tweet in response to what Megyn had just said? She was never to be taken seriously, never to be given any type of real credibility. For crying out loud, she went on the Howard Stern show and talked about the size of her husband's penis, the size of her own breasts, and their sex lives. And that was while she was a reporterette for Faux Pas News, formerly known as Fox News. Of course, I'm coming back around to calling them Fox News. They got the faux pas reputation after Obama got reelected, and it was obvious that it made a direct shift into the center, bounced Hannity to 10 o'clock, and anybody else that was remotely conservative, bye. You know, Bill O'Reilly did what it is he does, which is spin, and then, you know, they promoted and propped up Megyn Kelly, and that was it. Now they got Tucker Carlson, and they've got some conservative viewpoints really hammering in there, and Hannity's holding his own. Fox News during the day when Shemp Smith is on, I know it's Shepard, but he's really more like Shemp Howard from the Three Stooges. When Shemp Smith is on there, it's not worth watching, and the only reason it's running in the home is it's kind of like listening to Mantovani in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest while meds were being passed. It was just something on in the background, and that's what Shepard is during the day. He's just kind of on in the background, and I'm in an office where occasionally Fox News is on during the day, and he's on in the office, volume way down. Nobody really pays any attention to anything that Shemp Smith has to say. That said, Mika Brzezinski. Have you ever watched Morning Joe? Have you ever watched how she really doesn't contribute? And she really only has one thing to say every day about Donald Trump. He's such a liar, and I'm so scared. He's such a liar, and he's making us look bad around the world. He's such a liar, such a liar, such a liar. Shut up. Honestly, just shut up. day in and day out. You're starting to sound like the school teacher on Charlie Brown. It's not credible journalism on any level. Let's take one little thing. On the Friday edition of Morning Joe, and he still continues to lie about being wiretapped, despite the fact that Congress has now spoken and said they see no evidence. Gee, Mika, honey, if you want to be taken seriously as someone in journalism, and you like to break the big story rather than just sit out there every day and parrot what the New York Times says or parrot what somebody else says. And Joe, you were the one right after the election. You know, you sat there with your little slitty eyes coming through your Mr. Moto glasses and kind of lamenting, you know, the media just didn't get it. They just didn't get it. They just bashed Donald Trump day in, day out. They lost all sense of objectivity, and they just bashed him. They just bashed him. And look what's happened. The American people have spoken. Look at some of your own show's reruns over the past couple of months. You're doing exactly what you accuse the New York Times of. Exactly what you accused the Washington Post of. Exactly what you accused your compadres in the mainstream legacy, failed, dying media of. Every day, you and Mika and your little panel of do-nothings bash, 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 bash. It's unbelievable. You want to do something really groundbreaking? This'll get into this a little bit. Dig past the surface. Now let me see if I can't paint a scenario you might be able to grasp. The president comes out and he says, I've been wiretapped by Obama. Have you bothered to run all of the articles and headlines that ran since June of 2016, where publications like the New York Times openly talked about the surveillance of Donald Trump? They wrote articles about it. They talked about what they were learning about Team Trump and his supposed connections to Russia. All right, so you got that. Right? Hold on to that. Then out comes the new WikiLeaks dump. And while, of course, this is all circulating, we've got all this talk about Russian hack into the election. We got all this talk about collusion with the Trump campaign and what they did. But now WikiLeaks comes out with a new dump where they reveal that our own Central Intelligence Agency, the National Security Agency, and the FBI all have the capability of basically being able to hack anything that they want to hack into and making it look like the Russians did it. We have reporters out there that have found the FISA warrants. I'll try looking at Circa News. We have other reporters out there that are really digging into this thing, but they don't have the media juggernaut behind them, and they're working on their own, and they're not getting the exposure. Hey, Joe, you want to do something that would really turn your ratings around and get people to tune in? Do something revolutionary. Tell the truth. Get off just preaching the media party line, because it's its own new political party. You've got Democrats, you've got Republicans, you've got the media. Now, of course, the media most of the time has the best self-interest of the Democrats in mind, but nonetheless, they have an ideology and a propaganda that they want to put forth every day. As Mika said it best.
Well, and I think that the dangerous, edges here are that he's trying to undermine the media, trying to make up his own facts. And it could be that while unemployment and the economy worsens, he could have undermined the messaging so much that he can actually control exactly what people think. And that is our job.
Yeah, and that hasn't changed. You're just sitting there trying to get people to think one way about Donald Trump. Do something revolutionary, Joe, and get your little sidekick, Mika, to help you. Dig into this story a little bit. One thing that has never, ever been proven wrong is that WikiLeaks is wrong. Remember when WikiLeaks whole expose of dumps over the fall, and it came out that Donna Brazile had given debate questions to Hillary Rodham Clinton, and Donna was shocked. I didn't do any such thing. This didn't happen. And yet, in the past 24 hours, she's had to admit, yes, she did. See, people get mad at WikiLeaks, but the one thing they can't do is disprove WikiLeaks. So, let's see if we can't put all of this together and we can even help Mika. I thought about holding up flashcards so that Mika could kind of learn at home, so that maybe she could go in front of the teleprompter on Monday and finally, after it's been laid out in crayon for her, be able to reasonably sound like, gee, Mika, maybe you did go to school after all. Maybe you were more than just the cheerleader and the pretty face at your school. Maybe you actually opened a book while you were there and you were hooked on phonics and can read. Mika, Joe, I'm really trying to help you. I'm concerned. As a pastor, it's what I do. I get concerned about people. I'm concerned for you because you sound so incredibly uninformed and just blathering nothing but propaganda and bloviating the politically correct, let's be against Trump and accuse him of being mean and tweeting irresponsibly, and just now doubling down on the now debunked wiretapping. You think once they all got exposed for what they were doing, once Obama actually got exposed for wiretapping, once it was found out that the national intelligence agencies, along with some rogues within inside, it's obvious they don't like Trump, and so they have been working hand in hand with members of the old leftover Obama administration. We call it deep sick shadow government, whatever you want to call it. But once it got exposed what they were doing, you don't think that the first thing they would do is the old Bill Clinton playbook? Deny, deny, deny. Hey, Mika, that's not a location in India. It's a position of lying. Deny, deny, deny. Deny it happened. Let the proof disappear. Oh, we didn't do that. Well, we've got the FISA. No, that's not us. We didn't do that. Deny, deny, deny. Haven't disproven WikiLeaks. Haven't disproven Vault 7. None of it's been disproven. Now you have Donna Brazile coming forth and finally admitting, yeah, the stuff WikiLeaks was leaking over the summer and fall, yeah, I was leaking stuff to the Clintons. Da-da-da-da-da. Put it all together now, Joe and Mika. Put it all together. Could maybe the Central Intelligence Agency, right, this is just wild, so go with me on this. The Central Intelligence Agency could not only make you think that the Russians were up to nefarious things within our computer systems and hacking and listening in on people's conversations, but maybe they could make it look like nobody was, like it never happened, and get their mouthpiece stooges on Capitol Hill to say, there's no there. It never happened. So that people like you in the media, it never happened. Donald Trump's a liar. Donald Trump's a liar. Donald Trump's a liar. Yet your same media outlets just weeks and months before were reporting on this almost in a gloating manner. Hey, the Trump campaign is just about over because we know he's being tapped, and we've got sources telling us what these taps are revealing. You wrote articles about it. You did TV commentary about it. Own it. And Mika, maybe she's a nice person in real life, but on TV, she's a dillweed and a dingbat. That seriously. She's almost making me look forward to the return of Megyn Kelly. No, she's not. That's it. That's what I've got for you today. I just had to get this off my chest so I can get on to my weekend. See, I got to go shovel right now. Sand at the beach. I live in Florida. So for all of my friends in the Northeast, Yeah, how was it having 4 feet of snow for St. Patty's Day? Hope you have a great weekend. Gave you some things to think about. Tell some other people about my channel, about my views, my opinions. As I like to say on the radio, you will get my rants, my ravings, my flawless reasonings. Because my radio show is not talk radio, it's thought radio. Radio designed for thinking people. That's the Afternoon Drive, Monday through Thursday on AM 840 WPGS, 1205 and 505 is when we go on the air. It's an hour long each time. And I think you'll learn something. You could get mad along the way, and getting mad's okay. The Bible, there I go again, the Bible says iron sharpens iron. So let's do a little iron sharpening together, intellectually. Reasoning together. The Bible also says, let us reason together. And let's get to the truth. And let's get on with it. Subscribe to the channel. Help it go viral. God bless. Have a great weekend.